Few aromas can rival the intoxicating scent of braised pork ribs wafting from the kitchen. It's a siren song, promising tender meat that surrenders to the bone and a symphony of flavors that dance on your palate. Braising, a slow cooking method using low heat and liquid, transforms tough cuts of meat, like ribs, into melt-in-your-mouth masterpieces. Whether you're a seasoned chef or a kitchen novice, this comprehensive guide will equip you with the knowledge and techniques to master the art of braised pork ribs. We'll delve into the essential ingredients, unveil the secrets of each step, and empower you to create a dish that will have everyone clamoring for seconds. Get ready to embark on a culinary adventure that will tantalize your taste buds and leave you feeling like a true kitchen hero. Before we dive into the action, let's gather our culinary weapons, the key ingredients that will lay the foundation for our flavor-packed masterpiece. Pork ribs. Opt for baby back ribs or spare ribs, each lending a unique character to the final dish. Baby back ribs, with their tender meat and shorter cooking time, are a great starting point for beginners. Spare ribs, although requiring a bit more time on the heat, reward you with an abundance of flavor and a satisfyingly rich sauce. Aromatics. The flavor-based onions, garlic and ginger form the aromatic trinity of our braising symphony. These humble ingredients, when gently sautéed, release their fragrant oils, infusing the braising liquid with layers of savory complexity. Liquids. The braising elixir, chicken broth or stock, forms the backbone of our braising liquid, providing a neutral base that allows the other flavors to shine. For a bolder, richer taste, consider incorporating beef broth or even a touch of red wine. The key is to use a flavorful liquid that complements the pork. Soy sauce and sugar, the balancing act. Soy sauce injects a savory depth and umami richness, while sugar balances the savory notes with a touch of sweetness. These two ingredients work in perfect harmony, creating a balanced flavor profile that enhances the natural sweetness of the pork. Now that we have our ingredients prepped, let's turn our attention to the ribs. Pat them dry with paper towels to remove any excess moisture, ensuring they brown beautifully during searing. Next, season them generously with salt and pepper, enhancing their natural flavors and creating a savory foundation. For an extra layer of flavor, consider a dry rub. Combine your favorite spices like paprika, cumin, or chili powder and massage them onto the ribs. This step infuses the meat with an extra punch of flavor that will permeate every bite. The sizzle of meat hitting a hot pan is a culinary symphony we all love. Browning the ribs is a crucial step that shouldn't be skipped. Heat a large Dutch oven or heavy-bottomed pot over medium-high heat and add a drizzle of oil. Once the oil shimmers, carefully place the ribs in the pot, ensuring not to overcrowd them. Sear the ribs for 4 to 5 minutes per side, allowing them to develop a beautiful golden brown crust. This caramelization process creates complex flavors and adds a depth of richness to the final dish. Don't be tempted to move the ribs around too much. Let them sit and develop that flavorful crust. Section 5. The braising ballet, low and slow transformation. With the ribs beautifully browned, it's time for the braising liquid to work its magic. Pour enough chicken broth or stock to partially submerge the ribs, adding more if needed. Then toss in your aromatic trinity of onions, garlic and ginger, allowing their flavors to meld with the braising liquid. Bring the liquid to a gentle simmer, then reduce the heat to low, cover the pot tightly, and let the ribs bathe in the flavorful broth. This low and slow cooking method breaks down the tough connective tissues in the ribs, resulting in incredibly tender and succulent meat. Braising times vary depending on the type of ribs you choose. Baby back ribs typically require 1.5 to 2 hours of braising, while spare ribs benefit from a longer braising time of 2.5 to 3 hours. Use a fork to test for tenderness. The meat should easily pull away from the bone when pierced. Section 6. Sauce secrets. From thin to finger-licking goodness. As the ribs braise, let's turn our attention to the sauce. The braising liquid, now infused with the flavors of the pork, aromatics and spices, forms the base of our sauce. To thicken it and create that finger-licking goodness, we'll employ a simple cornstarch slurry. In a small bowl, whisk together a tablespoon of cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of cold water until smooth. Slowly drizzle the cornstarch slurry into the simmering sauce, whisking constantly to prevent lumps. The sauce will thicken as it simmers, coating the ribs in a luscious glaze. For an extra layer of flavor, consider adding a splash of soy sauce, a drizzle of honey, or a squeeze of lemon juice to the sauce. Taste and adjust the seasonings accordingly, creating a flavor profile that tantalizes your taste buds. Section 7. Avoiding pitfalls, common mistakes, and how to dodge them. Even seasoned cooks can encounter pitfalls in the kitchen. Let's address some common mistakes when braising pork ribs and how to avoid them. Overcrowding the pot prevents the ribs from browning properly, resulting in a less flavorful dish. Sear the ribs in batches if needed, ensuring they have ample space to develop that beautiful crust. Adding too much liquid will dilute the flavors of the braising liquid and result in a watery sauce. Start with enough liquid to partially submerge the ribs and add more only if needed. Braising is a slow cooking method that requires patience. Rushing the process will result in tough, chewy ribs. Allow ample time for the ribs to braise low and slow, ensuring they are fork tender. Section 8. Flavor fireworks, tips and tricks for next level ribs. Now that we've covered the basics, let's explore some tips and tricks to elevate your braised pork ribs to new heights of flavor. For an extra punch of flavor, marinate the ribs in a mixture of soy sauce, honey, garlic, and ginger for at least 30 minutes or up to overnight. This step infuses the meat with incredible flavor and helps to tenderize it further. Don't be afraid to experiment with different aromatics to create unique flavor profiles. Star anise, cinnamon sticks, or dried chilies can add intriguing dimensions to your braised ribs. Once the ribs are cooked, consider giving them a final flourish under the broiler or on the grill. This step caramelizes the sauce, creating a sticky, irresistible glaze. Section 9. Braised to perfection, your delicious triumph. Congratulations, you've mastered the art of braised pork ribs. As you take that first bite, savor the moment. The meat, fall off the bone tender, melts in your mouth, while the rich, flavorful sauce lingers on your palate. This is a dish meant to be shared and enjoyed with loved ones, creating memories that will last a lifetime. The beauty of braising lies in its simplicity and forgiving nature. Don't be afraid to experiment with different flavors and ingredients, making this recipe your own. So gather your ingredients, put on your apron, and embark on a culinary adventure that will tantalize your taste buds and leave you feeling like a true kitchen hero. Happy braising!